My grandma doesn't come here anymore. Why? Because Aunt Denise said Grandma Monica isn't safe.
Monica Carter stopped outside the half-open classroom door. For a moment, she thought she had misunderstood. Then she heard the voice again. It belonged to her 9-year-old granddaughter, Sophie. Another little girl asked, "Why?" There was a pause. Monica stood perfectly still, holding a small lavender gift bag against her chest. Inside was a silver bracelet with a tiny music note charm. Sophie had pointed it out in a store window months earlier. Monica had remembered. She always remembered. Then Sophie answered,
My grandma doesn't
"Because
come
Aunt
here
Denise
anymore.
said Grandma Monica
Why?
isn't safe."
Because Aunt Denise said Grandma
Monica's
Monica
fingers
isn't
tightened around the handles of the bag. Not safe? She moved closer to the doorway. The other child lowered her voice. Did she do something bad? I don't know, Sophie said. My dad said we're supposed to give her some space. Monica felt as though the floor had disappeared beneath her. Then footsteps sounded from the opposite end of the hallway. Monica turned. Her younger sister, Denise, was walking toward the classroom carrying yellow flowers. Denise stopped when she saw her. For half a second, neither woman moved. Then Sophie came running through the classroom door. She didn't see Monica. She saw Denise. Her face brightened. Grandma! Sophie rushed down the hallway and threw her arms around Denise. Monica's heart seemed to stop. Grandma! She had heard it clearly. Denise wrapped her arms around the little girl. Then, over Sophie's shoulder, she looked directly at Monica. Monica expected surprise. Embarrassment. Maybe even guilt. Instead, Denise smiled. It wasn't a big smile. It barely touched the corners of her mouth. But Monica saw it. And suddenly, months of unanswered phone calls, canceled dinners, and strange excuses rearranged themselves in her mind. This wasn't distance. It wasn't coincidence. Someone had been pushing her out of her own family. And the woman responsible had been sitting across from her at Thanksgiving dinner. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming stories. 6 months earlier, Monica Carter had never considered herself the center of her family. But somehow, she had always been the person everyone called. At 58, Monica lived alone in a comfortable brick home outside Atlanta. Her husband, James, had died 4 years earlier after 32 years of marriage. Losing him changed Monica. She became quieter. More deliberate. She stopped saving things for special occasions because James's death had taught her that sometimes the special occasion never arrived. She used the expensive candles. She wore the good perfume. And whenever her only son called, she answered. Ethan Carter was 35, married to Rachel, and raising their daughter, Sophie. Sophie was Monica's joy. Every Wednesday afternoon, Monica picked her up from school. They stopped for hot chocolate when it was cold and lemonade when Georgia's heat became unbearable. Sometimes they baked. Sometimes they watched old movies. Sometimes Sophie sat at Monica's kitchen table doing homework while Monica cooked dinner. There was nothing extraordinary about those afternoons. That was exactly why Monica treasured them. One Wednesday in February, Sophie sat at the kitchen counter decorating cupcakes. She had frosting on her nose. Monica laughed. You've got something right there. Where? Your nose. Sophie wiped her cheek. Monica laughed harder. Not even close. The front door opened. Anybody home? Monica recognized the voice. Kitchen. Denise walked in carrying 2 shopping bags. At 54, Denise was 4 years younger than Monica. The sisters looked enough alike that strangers noticed the resemblance, but their personalities had always been different. Monica planned. Denise arrived. Monica remembered birthdays 2 months in advance. Denise sometimes remembered them 2 days late. But Monica loved her sister. Or at least she believed she did. Denise set the bags on the counter. There she is. Sophie smiled. Aunt Denise. Denise pretended to look offended. Aunt Denise? That's all I get? Sophie giggled. Denise hugged her and produced a brightly wrapped package. Monica frowned. Denise. What? You don't need to bring her something every time you come over. It's tiny. Sophie was already opening it. Inside was a pair of expensive wireless headphones. Monica stared at her sister. That's tiny? Denise shrugged. She's my favorite niece. She's your only niece. Exactly. No competition. Sophie laughed. Monica smiled too. At the time, it seemed harmless. Looking back, Monica would remember that afternoon differently. Because Denise started appearing more often. First once a week. Then twice. She brought Sophie clothes. Books. Concert tickets. Once, she brought an expensive tablet. Eventually Monica pulled her aside. You have to stop buying her so much. Denise frowned. Why? Rachel and Ethan are trying to teach her that she doesn't get everything she wants. I'm allowed to spoil her. Of course. Just ask her parents first. Something flashed across Denise's face. You always do that. Monica frowned. Do what? Tell everyone how things should be done. That's not what I'm doing. Denise gave a small laugh. Never mind. She walked away. Monica didn't follow her. She should have. 3 weeks later, Ethan called. Mom, we're going to change the Wednesday arrangement for a while. Monica stopped folding laundry. What arrangement? With Sophie. You make it sound like a business contract. Mom. Something in his voice bothered her. What happened? Nothing happened. Then why can't I pick her up tomorrow? Rachel and I think Sophie needs a little more structure. She does her homework here every Wednesday. I know. She eats dinner. I know. I have her home by 7. Mom, nobody is accusing you of anything. Monica went quiet. She hadn't said they were. That sentence stayed with her. Nobody is accusing you of anything. Did Rachel say something? No. Did Sophie? No. Then I'm confused. Ethan exhaled. Can we please not turn everything into an interrogation? That hurt. Monica looked toward the framed photograph of James on her dresser. All right. We'll talk later. Okay. Love you. Monica hesitated. Love you too. The call ended. Something felt wrong. But Monica told herself not to overreact. Families changed routines. Children grew up. Maybe Sophie wanted more time with friends. Maybe Rachel wanted her home. Maybe Ethan was stressed. There were dozens of reasonable explanations. Monica chose all of them. Except the one that was true. The following month was Ethan's birthday. Monica called Rachel 10 days beforehand. What are we doing for Ethan? There was a slight pause. We haven't decided. When you do, tell me. I'll make his red velvet cake. Sure. Days passed. Monica finally texted Ethan. Any birthday plans yet? He replied almost immediately. Keeping it quiet this year. Probably just dinner at home. Monica smiled and replied that she would bring his cake. His next message came slowly. Let's do something another weekend, Mom. Rachel and I just want something small with Sophie. It hurt. But Monica respected it. On Ethan's birthday, she called that morning. No answer. She left a cheerful message. That evening, Monica poured herself a glass of wine and watched television. Around 9:30, her phone buzzed. Denise had posted photographs. Monica almost scrolled past. Then she saw Ethan. He was standing inside a restaurant. Balloons were behind him. Rachel was beside him. Sophie was sitting on Denise's lap. There were at least 12 people around the table. Rachel's parents, Ethan's friends, cousins, Denise. Even Denise's neighbor, Patricia. Monica stared at the photograph. Keeping it quiet this year. Her wine sat untouched. Then another photograph appeared. Denise was holding a red velvet cake. The caption said family was everything. Monica's phone rang. Denise. She almost didn't answer. Hello? Hey, sis. Denise sounded cheerful. Monica stared at the photograph. Where are you? Silence. Only for a second. At home. Monica's chest tightened. Really? Yes. Why? Monica looked at the photograph again. Denise was wearing the same green blouse. Nothing. You okay? I'm fine. All right. I'll call you tomorrow. Denise? Yeah? Monica nearly confronted her. Instead she asked, did you have a nice evening? Another pause. Yes. Good night. Monica ended the call. That was the first time she admitted something to herself. Her family wasn't simply becoming busy. They were excluding her. And worse. They were lying about it. 2 days later, Denise arrived carrying coffee. They sat in Monica's kitchen. For several minutes, neither mentioned Ethan's birthday. Finally Monica said, I saw the pictures. Denise stopped stirring. What pictures? Please don't. Denise sighed. Monica. You told me you were home. I didn't want to hurt you. You were already hurting me. Ethan didn't want you there. The sentence landed harder than Monica expected. Why? Denise leaned back. I don't know if I should get involved. You're already involved. Denise studied her. Then her voice softened. He thinks you've become difficult. Monica blinked. Difficult? Since James died. Ethan said that? I'm not trying to upset you. Did my son call me difficult? Denise reached across the table. Monica moved her hand away. He thinks you're too attached to Sophie. Monica stared at her. What does that mean? You treat her like she's filling the space James left behind. That is ridiculous. I'm just telling you what they're saying. They? Ethan and Rachel. Monica stood. Rachel has never said anything like that. Because she's afraid of hurting you. Monica felt anger rising. I see my granddaughter once a week. Monica, I'm trying to help. No. You're telling me my son thinks I'm using my granddaughter to replace my dead husband. Denise lowered her voice. Maybe you should ask yourself why he'd feel that way. Monica stared at her. Denise picked up her purse. I shouldn't have said anything. She walked toward the door. Then stopped. There is one other thing. Monica said nothing. Ethan showed me some of your messages. What messages? The ones you sent Rachel. Monica frowned. I barely text Rachel. Denise looked uncomfortable. At least that's what you remember. Monica's anger disappeared. What is that supposed to mean? Denise didn't answer. You need to talk to Ethan. Then she left. That night, Monica did. Ethan didn't answer at first. Eventually, he responded by sending a screenshot. It appeared to be a conversation between Monica and Rachel. Monica's name was at the top. Her photograph was beside it. And underneath were several messages. Messages criticizing Rachel. Messages claiming Monica understood Sophie better than her own mother. Monica's blood ran cold. She had never written those words. She called Ethan. This time he answered. Those messages aren't mine. Mom. I never sent those. Rachel has them. I don't care where she has them. I didn't write them. Please stop. Ethan, listen to me. I've been listening for months. To what? You criticizing Rachel. Questioning our parenting. Acting like Sophie belongs to you. I have never. Then how did those messages get there? I don't know. Monica heard herself shouting and stopped. Ethan went silent. Then his voice became cold. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The call ended. Monica opened her own conversation with Rachel. Those messages weren't there. Then she noticed the date on Ethan's screenshot. March 14th. Monica opened her calendar. And suddenly remembered exactly where she'd been that night. At Denise's house. They had watched a movie and ordered Chinese food. Around 9 o'clock, Monica's phone had died. Denise had offered to charge it in her bedroom. Monica immediately rejected the thought forming in her mind. No. Denise was her sister. Then Monica's phone buzzed. A message from Denise. Ethan called me. Please don't make this worse. Give them some space. Monica stared at it. How did you know I just spoke to Ethan? Eventually Denise replied. He called me because he was upset. Monica typed another question. Did you ever use my phone the night I was at your house in March? This time, no answer came. 5 minutes. 10. 20. Finally Denise replied. I think you need some rest. Monica stared at those words. For the first time in 54 years of knowing her sister, Monica Carter wondered whether she knew Denise at all. The next morning, Monica compared Ethan's screenshot with her own account. Then she noticed something. The profile photograph in the screenshot was old. Very old. James had taken it on their 29th wedding anniversary. Monica hadn't used that photograph in years. Her heart began beating faster. Someone had made a mistake. She called Ethan. Look at the profile picture. I saw it. That photograph hasn't been on my account for years. Denise already explained it. Monica froze. What did Denise explain? She said screenshots sometimes show older profile pictures. That doesn't make sense. I don't know how these apps work. Ask Rachel to open the original conversation. Silence. Rachel deleted it. Monica stood. What? She was upset. Then where did the screenshot come from? She sent it to Denise first. Everything led back to Denise. Monica told Ethan that Denise had possessed her phone that night. His response was immediate. Stop. She had access. And that proves what? It proves we should ask questions. You're accusing Aunt Denise because she charged your phone? Something is wrong. And every time somebody disagrees with you, you decide they're against you. Monica froze. Who told you that? Another silence. Was it Denise? Ethan exhaled. This is why we need space. He hung up. And Monica finally understood how clever the trap was. If she became angry, she was unstable. If she defended herself, she was controlling. If she questioned Denise, she was paranoid. There was no response Denise couldn't use against her. The following Wednesday, Monica caught herself reaching for her car keys at 2:30. For almost 4 years, Wednesday meant Sophie. Then she remembered. She wasn't supposed to go. At 4:15, Rachel called. We need to talk. All right. Ethan told me what you said about Denise. Monica asked the question she'd been thinking about all week. Rachel, did you actually receive those messages from my number? Silence. Rachel? I saw them. That wasn't my question. I don't want to argue. Neither do I. Did those messages arrive on your phone from my account? Another pause. Then Rachel said quietly, Denise showed them to me. Monica stopped breathing. What? Rachel seemed to realize what she'd admitted. I have to go. No. You just told me Denise showed you the messages. I don't remember exactly how it happened. Those are completely different things. Monica, this isn't only about messages. Something else. What else is it about? It's about Sophie. Monica's stomach tightened. She doesn't want to be alone with you right now. Why? She's uncomfortable. With me? Yes. Monica stood. I have never done anything to make that child uncomfortable. I know. Then tell me what happened. Rachel's answer came quietly. You should ask your sister. The call ended. This time Monica didn't call Denise. She drove to her house. When Denise opened the door, Monica asked one question. What did you tell Sophie? Denise glanced toward the neighboring houses. Lower your voice. What did you tell my granddaughter? Denise finally stepped outside. You really don't know? Know what? Sophie heard you. Heard me doing what? Talking about her. Denise claimed Monica had said Sophie would be better off with her. Monica denied it. Then Denise said something familiar. You don't remember everything, Monica. And suddenly Monica understood. You've been telling them I'm losing my mind. Nobody said that. You've been telling Ethan I forget things. Sometimes you do. You've been telling Rachel I'm unstable. I've been worried about you. And Sophie? Denise didn't answer. Why are you doing this? For the first time, Denise looked genuinely angry. Maybe because for once everything isn't about you. Then she closed the door. That evening, Monica opened an old box of family photographs. She remembered the comparisons. Why can't you be more like Monica? Look how responsible Monica is. Then she remembered their mother's final days. Monica had followed Evelyn's medical directive when doctors said there was no hope of recovery. Denise had arrived too late to say goodbye. At the funeral, she'd told Monica something she never forgot. You always get to decide when everyone else has had enough. Maybe Denise had never stopped believing it. 2 days later, Denise's neighbor Patricia appeared at Monica's house. Denise doesn't know I'm here. Patricia explained that months earlier she'd borrowed Denise's tablet. When she opened it, several screenshots were already on the screen. Monica's name appeared on them. Different versions of the same conversations. I took a picture, Patricia said. Monica stared at her. Patricia handed over her phone. There it was. Denise's tablet. Monica's photograph. Rachel's name. An editing program. And multiple versions of the conversation. Then Monica noticed the date. March 15th. The morning after Denise had taken Monica's phone to charge it. For the first time, Monica had evidence. But Patricia had another warning. Denise knew she'd seen the tablet. And Denise had told her something strange. It doesn't matter what anyone discovers anymore. Ethan has already made his choice. That evening Monica sent the photograph to Ethan. Hours later, he finally replied. Where did you get this? Monica explained. Eventually Ethan asked her to come to his house the following evening. When Monica arrived, 4 cars were outside. This wasn't a conversation. It was a meeting. Inside sat Ethan. Rachel. Rachel's parents. And Denise. An empty chair waited across from everyone. Denise admitted making the images Patricia had seen. Then she produced a folder. I've been trying to protect you. From what? From yourself. Denise claimed Monica had asked her to recreate conversations she'd deleted because Monica was worried she couldn't remember what she'd sent. Monica stared at her. "You are lying. I knew you'd say that." Monica's voice rose. "You are lying." Then she saw Sophie standing halfway down the staircase, clutching a stuffed rabbit. "Grandma?" Monica's anger disappeared. Sophie took one step backward. Then she asked the question that silenced the room. "Did you really try to take me away from Mommy?" "No. Aunt Denise said you wanted me to live with you." Monica turned toward Denise. Then Sophie continued. "She said that's why Grandpa James was mad at you before he died." Nobody moved. James had never been part of this story. Until now. Monica looked at her sister. "What did you tell her about my husband?" For the first time. Denise looked afraid. Sophie was taken upstairs. Then Denise claimed James had called her before he died because he was worried about Monica's attachment to Sophie. Ethan asked for proof. Denise had none. Then Monica remembered something. James had changed his telephone number that summer. Denise never had the new number. It was the first crack. Under pressure, Denise finally exploded. She accused Monica of always being the chosen daughter. Their mother's favorite. Their father's responsible one. The woman everybody trusted. And finally, Monica understood. Denise had spent her entire life believing Monica had been chosen over her. After Denise left, Monica returned home and searched through old family documents. She found their mother's medical directive. Signed. Dated. Witnessed. Monica had followed Evelyn's wishes. Then she found James's old notebook. Near the back was Denise's name. One entry said Denise was still angry about Evelyn. Another said something that made Monica's hands tremble. James had written that Denise should be kept away from Sophie until she calmed down. The next 2 pages had been torn out. Monica remembered Denise helping sort James's office after his funeral. She called Ethan. Together they searched James's old email account. Then they found it. An email James had sent Denise 5 months before his death. The subject was simple. "This needs to stop." James wrote that whatever Denise felt about Monica, she needed to leave Sophie out of it. Then came the sentence that changed everything. "If you tell Sophie that Monica is trying to take her away from Rachel again, I will tell Monica everything." Again. Denise had done this before. James hadn't been afraid of Monica. He had been protecting her. The following morning, Rachel found something else. A 40-minute recording accidentally captured on Sophie's tablet. Denise's voice. Telling Sophie that Monica became confused. Warning Sophie never to leave anywhere with her grandmother without telling her parents. And then the lie that ended everything. Grandpa James knew something wasn't right with her too. This time, Denise couldn't explain it away. Monica finally had her voice recorded. But Monica didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, Ethan invited Denise to Sunday dinner. He told her Monica wanted to apologize. Denise came. Halfway through dinner, Monica placed down her fork. "I owe everyone an apology." She admitted she'd become angry. She admitted she'd accused people before having all the evidence. Then she looked at Denise. "And I accused my sister of lying." Denise reached for her hand. "It's okay." Monica gently removed it. "No. It isn't." She placed James's email on the table. "You said James was trying to protect Sophie from me." Denise stared at the page. "But James was trying to protect Sophie from you." Then Rachel placed Sophie's tablet on the table. Denise's own voice filled the room. When the recording ended, nobody spoke. Monica looked at her sister. "Why?" Denise began crying. Then she said something nobody expected. "Because James was going to tell you what your mother said about me before she died." Monica froze. Denise finally revealed the truth. Before Evelyn died, she'd apologized to Denise for comparing the sisters their entire lives. She told Denise that being different from Monica didn't mean she'd failed. But Evelyn had also prepared something else. A letter. One copy for Denise. One for Monica. Denise destroyed both. Monica stood. You destroyed my mother's last words to me? I was angry. You thought enough to keep it secret for 15 years. I hated you. Silence. Denise began crying. She had hated being Monica's sister. Hated watching Monica receive their parents' trust. Hated that everyone called Monica strong. Then Monica finally said what Denise had never understood. I didn't want to be strong. She told her sister how terrified she'd been making their mother's medical decisions. Everyone had looked to Monica because everyone had spent her entire life teaching her that responsibility belonged to her. You thought being chosen meant I wasn't afraid. Monica wiped her cheek. It meant nobody ever asked whether I wanted to choose. Denise had no answer. Then another truth emerged. James had known about the letters because Evelyn had dictated them to him. Denise begged him not to tell Monica. James agreed to give her time after Denise suffered a pregnancy loss. But time became years. Eventually Denise's resentment turned toward Monica's relationship with Sophie. James warned her that she was repeating their mother's mistake. Turning two people who loved each other into competitors. But after James died, nobody was there to stop her. Then one afternoon Sophie accidentally called Denise grandma. For one moment, Denise felt chosen. And she wanted that feeling again. A comment became another comment. Then a lie. Then fake messages. Then cancelled Wednesdays. Then a birthday Monica wasn't invited to. Until Denise had convinced herself she wasn't stealing Monica's family. She was finally getting her turn. Ethan looked at his mother. I believed her. Yes. I let Sophie stop seeing you. Yes. I lied about my birthday. Yes. I made you prove you weren't losing your mind. Monica looked away. I am so sorry. I know. Ethan seemed surprised. But knowing you're sorry doesn't make me ready to pretend it didn't happen. He nodded. Monica still loved her son. But love wasn't an eraser. Some things needed rebuilding. Then Sophie appeared. Grandma? Monica turned. Aunt Denise lied? Some things she told you weren't true. Are you sick? No. Did Grandpa think you were dangerous? No. Sophie looked toward Denise. Why did you say that? Denise finally answered honestly. Because I was jealous. Of Grandma? Yes. Why? Denise looked at Monica. Because sometimes grown-ups carry hurt for so long that they start hurting people who never hurt them. Sophie turned back toward Monica. Are you mad at me? Monica's expression broke. Oh, baby. You didn't do anything wrong. I called Aunt Denise Grandma. I know. I'm sorry. You don't have to apologize for loving somebody. Monica smiled through her tears. Love isn't something you have to take away from one person to give to another. Sophie stepped closer. Then closer again. Finally, she wrapped her arms around Monica. Monica held her. After weeks of fighting to get her granddaughter back, Monica finally understood something. Sophie had never been something to win. The following morning, Denise called. She hadn't destroyed everything. James had emailed a draft of Evelyn's letter to himself. Monica searched his account. One result appeared. Evelyn's words for her girls. There was no hidden fortune. No inheritance. No shocking family secret. Just a mother admitting she'd made mistakes. She wrote that Monica had been asked to carry too much. Denise had been compared too often. Neither daughter had been loved more. Only differently. Then Monica reached the final paragraph. Her voice broke as she read it to Denise. If I leave you girls with anything, let it be this. Do not spend your lives keeping score with each other. One of you was never meant to lose for the other one to be loved. Neither sister spoke. 15 years of resentment. Reduced to one sentence their mother had tried desperately to leave behind. Neither woman said, I forgive you. Not that day. Some wounds deserved more honesty than that. 3 months later, Wednesday afternoon returned. Monica parked outside Sophie's school. The family hadn't simply returned to normal. There had been counseling, conversations, boundaries. Ethan stopped asking Monica to move on. Rachel apologized without excuses. Denise stayed away for several weeks. She began counseling too. She wrote Monica a letter. A real one. Monica wasn't ready to answer. But she kept it. At 3:15, the school doors opened. Then Monica saw 2 lavender ribbons. Sophie spotted her. "Grandma." This time, there was no fear in the word. Sophie ran into her arms. "Can we get hot chocolate? It is 80 degrees. So? Lemonade. Hot chocolate. Lemonade." Sophie thought about it. "Both?" Monica laughed. "You are definitely your father's child." 6 months later, Monica stood outside Denise's townhouse. She had driven there 3 times before and kept going. This time, she rang the bell. Denise opened the door. "Hi. Hi. Do you want to come in?" Monica hesitated. Then nodded. They drank coffee. For several minutes, they talked about ordinary things. Finally Denise said, "I don't expect you to trust me again." "Good." Denise nodded. "I wouldn't either." Monica took a sip. "But I'm willing to see whether you can become someone I trust." Denise's eyes filled. "That's more than I deserve." "This isn't about what you deserve. It's about what I want my life to look like." Monica reached into her purse. She removed a folded piece of paper. Their mother's letter. She placed a copy on the table. "I thought you should have one." Denise touched the paper. "Thank you." Monica stood to leave. At the door, Denise said, "I love you." Monica stopped. There had been a time when she would have answered automatically. Instead she turned. "I know." Then she smiled slightly. "And I'm learning how to love you without letting you hurt me." Monica walked outside. For most of her life, she had believed family meant staying, enduring, forgiving, keeping everyone together. Now she understood something different. Family wasn't proven by how much pain you were willing to tolerate. Sometimes love meant opening the door. Sometimes it meant closing it. And sometimes it meant leaving the door unlocked without pretending nothing had happened. Monica got into her car. Her phone buzzed. A message from Sophie. "Wednesday. Hot chocolate. Don't forget." Monica smiled. She typed back. "I remember." And for the first time in months. Those 2 words didn't need to prove anything. They were simply true. If Monica's story stayed with you, tell us in the comments, could you forgive Denise after what she did, or would that betrayal be too much for you? And if you enjoy emotional stories about family, secrets, betrayal, forgiveness, and the moments that change everything, subscribe to the Last Page Stories. Thank you for staying with us until the last page.